So, tell me, are they worth picking up?
So, I have an answer here, and don't necessarily take my answer as 100% definitive. I'm not about to tell you what to do with your nostalgia. That's your nostalgia. And for some people, collecting figures that they had as a kid or figures that they specifically wanted as a kid fills a certain void. You get the things that you couldn't get as a child, you put that on the shelf and you go, this was really important to me, it was something that I desired, yada yada. Now it's mine. I get that. I 100% get that. Okay? But my collection habits have changed quite substantially as I've decided that if you've watched my videos and whatnot, I'm not saying that I'm super popular or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll figure out that a big part of me and my collecting is that every single item on the shelf has to say something about me, to my likes. It has to basically be a museum to myself and all the things that make me me and why they make me me. Every item on the shelf has to have a story that goes along with it, no matter how large or small, or it doesn't belong there. Period. It's that simple. And when I was growing up, I had 2 of these movie figures. And I'm going to put that in hard quotations now, okay? Movie turtles. I had Raphael and I had Donatello. I did not get Leonardo, who is my favorite turtle, but I wasn't the one buying the figures at that time. My parents, of course, bought the figures, or relatives, or so on and so forth. You get them for Christmas and so on and whatnot. And that's just the way that it was. So we played with the toys that we got, which is part of the reason that it creates this desire sometimes to say, hey, I never got these, I always wanted them, and then you go out and you buy them because now you can. You have adult money. Well, it started hitting me that the reason I wanted those movie turtles, because I like literally just asked myself this like a couple weeks ago, the reason I wanted those movie turtles so bad was because that movie, even today, is still one of my all-time favorite movies, and I would tell you, beyond the shadow of a doubt, it is in the top 10 best comic book movies ever made, ever, possibly in the top 5 for me on a personal level. I love that first Turtles movie so much. But, like you said, I had a huge desire to own these when I was younger. And that desire has cooled substantially for multiple reasons. One, I can look right at them and go, these are not movie turtles. I don't know what they are. They're rubber liver spot big face turtles. But they're not movie turtles. Just like, technically speaking, the original 4 Ninja Turtles that were released were not cartoon turtles. I mean, they weren't. They were never designed in all actuality to be the cartoon turtles. In fact, just to point it out, that Leonardo is definitely not the Leonardo that appeared in the animation. These are not the animation turtles. They simply are not, and they were never meant to be, right? They're not. These very much represent the comic books of the time, and case in point, these collector's packs that came out for this set of turtles that I bought a while back just made sense because that's what these guys are. This Leonardo was made to be that Leonardo up there. You get the idea? And I'm not trying to give a history lesson, because a history lesson it won't answer your question. But as I've grown up, and some of that nostalgia has left me, and some of that nostalgia has been controlled, where there are things that I very much understand why I have the nostalgia, but I keep it as a feeling rather than keep it as a physical thing. And I wanted movie turtles, so I did buy a set. And on a personal level, I bought 4 Chinese knockoff movie Ninja Turtles. And I would tell you that for the price, those Ninja Turtles, because you can get all 4 of them for like $40. That's what I was told. I spent $20 per turtle, but you can get them for 4. You can get them, all 4 of them, for like $40. Right after I did the video, people were on there being like, hey man, you could have got these way cheaper. And they're right. I got to looking around and they're right. I could have. But what I'm telling you is those turtles that you just showed on the video, like, they're probably like $12, $15 per turtle. And sure, they represent your childhood and everything, but what you want and what you wanted on a personal level, this is the way I see it, you wanted movie turtles for your shelf, right? Well, I mean, like, look. Excuse the shelf. I'm currently cleaning and rearranging because all my turtles and rangers are going to be going here. And, of course, my Godzilla fight that's going to be happening back there. But look, these are movie turtles, and these are Chinese knockoffs. They're not even NECA. They're cheap, and they represent the movie turtle idea. Those are movie turtles on my shelf. Way more than the movie turtles that I just saw that we got when we were kids. The weird rubber, big head, big face turtles. They're not movie turtles. At least in my personal opinion, anyway. They're not. They're not. So when my nostalgia started leaning towards, I want a set of movie turtles, I wanted NECA. And I started going on like Walmart and looking around and everything and trying to find these NECA turtles. And at the time, all I was trying was retail. I wanted them in pack. I want to be able to open them and whatnot. Excuse me. And as I found these turtles, I kept finding them. They cost like $200 for a 2-pack, like $190 something or something like that. As low as $150, but most of the time I'm finding them at like $200. And it just, one day I was on Walmart of all places, and I found this deal to get all 4 of the Ninja Turtles, and I was like, that's got to be fake. But I bought it. And in all honesty, I would argue that the Chinese knockoffs that I bought are of a higher quality than the movie turtles that we got when we were a kid. So unless your nostalgia specifically is telling you that this was a part of your childhood that you missed out on that you still want, I would skip them. On a personal level, I would skip them. And I only have these movie turtles that I showed you on the shelf. I have them until I can obtain NECA. They're like spot holders. I put them on the shelf, and then over time, as I go to conventions and things like that, and I find myself with extra money here and there, I'm going to make an attempt to actually buy the NECA versions and replace them on the shelf because they're fantastic. Those are not 100% fantastic, but they're better than the movie turtles we grew up with, on a personal note. And that's just the way that I see it. Maybe you see it very differently, but when I saw your question, I thought just pushing yes or no wouldn't really give you where I was coming from necessarily, because this is the way that I view it. And like I said, you don't have to think like I do for any reason, in all honesty, but I, on a personal level, would not buy these. No way.